Morning, everyone. It is Thursday, June 9th. A little behind this week. Son started high school soccer this week and completely forgot. Tuesday, he had his first practice and forgot to shoot the video. So, anyway, thought I'd show you what's going on. Not like I've ever showed you guys, but I do have 2 compost bins and a pile of weeds that I pick but do not compost. I should. This is where I planted all the herbs, and I don't think anything came up other than weeds. If the sight of weeds turns your stomach, you probably shouldn't watch this video because there's going to be a lot of that in this video. Do have a random celery stalk coming up. Looks like something's even eating it, but celery has never done well here, so that's just a seed that's dropped from old ones. Don't really notice anything else growing in here that's herb related, not even the green onion. Do have appears to be a butternut that just popped up. I did move that tomato. This area doesn't get a ton of sun, so I had to move it. And in all these weeds is a lot of kale, so kale always does well. Over to the main garden. That's what I like to call the main garden. So this squash and cucumbers are doing great. I believe these are the yellow squash. They don't have any squash on them yet, but they are growing. The cucumbers, on the other hand, are doing great. Let me see in there. All kinds of cucumbers starting. So, not sure what I'll do when it gets to the top of this thing. Another green squash. Got one on there. Another one starting. My son's maple tree. I'm gonna have to break his heart. I do have some milkweed. I don't know why I let that grow. People say you should. Gets the pollinators in. So I just let it go. Another green squash over here. I don't know if any of these are getting pollinated yet. I'm hoping that one was. This seems to be a different variety. It's starting to put a lot of zucchini on. Hopefully that'll do well. Radishes I just didn't harvest in time. I love growing these things, just never get around to eating them. And there's the horror of the weeds. I mean, it would take me like an hour to clear all this out, maybe 2. Just don't have the time. The bell peppers back here. Starting to go to flower. So many bell peppers. Looks like the flowers dropped off of those 2, so hopefully they'll start. You can see the weeds. Just hope they don't get choked out. There's a whole bunch of bell peppers. We're gonna have bell pepper galore. I guess this vine stuff just keeps growing. And I had morning glories years ago. I don't know if that's it or not. Okay, some more radish I didn't pick. Could let those go to seed unless I find something else to plant here. Look at that. Looks like I have a zucchini there. Other than that, not a whole lot. Mr. Rabbit has disappeared. Hasn't been doing any damage lately. So my beans have been starting to grow. Looks like that one's even getting ready to put some flowers on. Did transplant a few new ones. So we'll see. See what happens on those. I do have a volunteer, I'm assuming a butternut squash that's already huge. I guess is going to take over a lot of this area. I should probably move it that way. some kind of cool weed here. Need to pick that before I guess the flowers open up. Don't know what that is. And my gherkins, I'm excited about those. Look how that's just climbing up this vine. Doing great. Being protected by the lightning bug. Anyway, this is starting to put on little gherkins. See that one there? That's so cool. Anyway, got a whole bunch of little gherkins starting on it. So many of them. I really hope that works. Another butternut here I should rip out before it ruins the gherkins. I just have such a hard time ripping anything out of the garden. More gherkin there. I'm sure there's new gherkins under this thing. I need to take that out. I know if I weeded this, it'd do so much better. It's so hard to find the time. I threw a clove of garlic out here, a whole bulb of garlic, and they all sprouted. So, I'm sure these are too closely planted together to do anything, but pretty cool. With more butternut popping up everywhere. Peas are living in these thick weeds. And I actually planted an occasional cucumber plant because the peas won't last much longer. I am starting to get, actually snacked on a few peas. Obviously not a lot. I mean, this is just a loss and I'm just taking what I can at this point. Tasty. There's some growing, not many. Lemon tree's looking good. No flowers, no lemons, but it's at least getting back to health after what happened to it over the winter. Every single leaf dropped off, so I'm happy with that. So my beefsteak tomatoes, I started from seed. And also I have here, it's a super small cherry tomato that was in a salad at Texas Roadhouse. Thought it would be cool to have. Brought it home and planted it, and they have sprouted also. Raspberries are looking okay. The spring harvest is never really very big. But I haven't had this much new growth coming up in a long time. So I am hoping that the fall harvest will be really good. Some of them are turning red. I've been snacking on one here and there. Okay. More weeds. More plants over here. A bunch of coriander. At least I can't even grow cilantro here. A few bell pepper plants. Putting on their flowers and the bell peppers and everything else. With some beets behind them. And some of the beans that are, these are Kentucky Wonder, or Kentucky pole bean. More raspberries. Not many growing over here. This is mostly just new growth. But there's some being put on. Planted some new zucchini over here. And the scarlet runners are starting to take off a little bit. A rabbit must have been here because this one had been a little bit bigger. Not really sure what that little guy is. A little ladybug. Pretty sure everything's eaten every flower on my radishes, so I'm not sure I'll get any of those. Some more weeds. Really nice weeds here. The onions, the seeds are pretty much, I can take these seed heads off. throw them in a brown bag and shake them. I do have more potatoes coming up. These will all be red potatoes. The yellow never came up. A couple bell pepper plants. This looks like my healthiest bell pepper plant here. One right there. These potatoes, some have gone to flower. Never really grown potatoes, so I don't know when to harvest these. I think when everything starts dying off, that's when you're supposed to do it. It looks like there's a lot of disease getting down in these. I don't know if they'll do anything. I got a huge radish with no pods, so clearly something is eating the flowers, assuming it's the deer. The lettuce seems to have reached the end of its life cycle, which is disappointing because it never went to seed. I didn't think that would happen. Maybe it's just too wet. We've had a lot of rain. Carrots looking great. They always look great. Do well every year. More lettuce, just doesn't look that great. Turnips. These are actually doing very well, but yeah, I got 20 pounds of turnips inside, diced up, and frozen. But so be it. Potato with that vine growing in it. These damn vines are annoying. Okay, Swiss chard. Been eating some of that. Growing pretty well. Oh, if only I had time to take care of these weeds, this garden would be so much nicer. I did get a log rack, so I just need to clean up this area, so where all the logs will go. Free up this area. Might be too late for this year, but yeah, cucumbers, zucchini, maybe some green beans, peas in the fall. And more weeds, more weeds, more weeds. Up the bell pepper plants. The bell pepper plants are not doing well out here. So this might be a fail. I just need to get some blueberry bushes out here. Hopefully that'll do it. Help it. So that's what's going on. I should be back on how sometime next week. Hopefully things will be doing even better. It's unusually cool for this time of year. Like it's about 65 degrees this morning. It's just crazy. No humidity. It's pretty chilly. So hopefully I'll get time to do some weeding and some of these things can start taking off. Alrighty, well, I will talk to you guys next time.